Welcome back to Real Legends Podcast. I'm Bo.
I'm Dan.
And tonight's episode is The Matrix from 1999, starring Keanu Reeves. And what a timely film this feels like, given our current circumstances of 2026. And we're going to dive into all that. Matrix, AI, and the whole shebang. But Dan, how are you doing, man?
Good.
We had a little adventure last week where we got to go see a movie in theaters.
It's true.
Project Hail Mary. And we had a fun time doing that and doing a reaction to the movie right outside the theater for you, our fans.
All trillion of our fans watched it, loved the video, got a ton of messages about how handsome I was. Need you guys to chill out.
Shout out to Zag for sponsoring Dan on his t-shirt.
Very true.
Polo.
Volcom Stone is now sponsoring this one.
Yeah, and whatever I'm wearing, blank t-shirt brand. But yeah, we're gonna do more of those episodes where we get out to the theater this year, the cinema, and see movies like The Odyssey, Young Washington, and Dune Part 3. And any other movies you think we should go out and see, give us a message or comment so we can make sure we hit those ones too. But I think we'll just get into, unless you have any movie news, Dan, we might just get into our thoughts.
I saw a trailer for, it was called like The Back Rooms or something like that. And it looks like a kind of a unique thriller. It was made by not a very big company. So I like thrillers a lot. And I think this movie, I think this year is going to be an interesting year for sure, because there's been a lot of movies, trailers that have come out recently that I'm actually like looking forward to. Like I watched the trailers and I was like, that doesn't actually look like a horrible movie. Whereas most of the time, most trailers I watch, I'm just like, wow, that looks so stupid. But I've seen like several trailers now that I'm like, I actually think I would watch that and I might enjoy it.
Yeah. Any other ones you want to shout out that you're...
Young Washington,
yeah.
The Odyssey, kind of the ones that you already talked about.
Okay.
I thought Hail Mary was, again, not exactly like my kind of film per se, but it was fun to go to the movies and watch something that was new and unique. Like, not every movie is going to be a 10 out of 10, but I still had fun watching it.
Yeah, that's something I would want to emphasize when our reaction end right now is it's definitely a movie worth getting out to the theater and supporting so that we can keep getting movies in theaters, because it was a good movie and it was a fun experience. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, get out and see Project Hail Mary and get prepared for some of these other movies we've mentioned as well.
It seems like everybody's liking it too, and everyone's watching it. Like when we went at 9:30 and we couldn't find a spot to park. It was insane. Like just so many people wanted to go and watch it.
Not an empty seat in the house.
Yeah.
It was a good experience, except for it was quite hot in there. But I blame the theater for that.
True.
So
and they had that one light on for a while.
They actually sent me an email for feedback since I bought my tickets online, and I gave that feedback. So hopefully next time we'll have a better experience. By way of other news, media related. I've seen some things I'm interested in, but just media / stuff we're interested in. This year is 25-year anniversary for Halo Combat Evolved.
True.
And they're launching their marketing campaign coming up here soon. I've seen some images they've released, and they're doing a collaboration with Fanta Soda. So we're going to be getting some Halo soda, and stuff like that. So kind of excited. It's been a long time since I've really cared for anything Halo. When Halo 4 came out, I was like, it's not Bungie anymore. But this kind of got me interested. Nostalgia / love Halo. So
they're gonna call it Master Chief Surprise
Soda.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They should call it Grunt Blood.
Hunter Blood.
Hunter Blood. Yeah, Hunter Worm Back Juice.
Plasma Blue.
Yeah,
and
if they don't do that, that's actually a massive L. Dude, how have we not talked about Stephen Colbert, the new Lord of the Rings movie?
I knew there was news we needed to talk about.
That is so stupid. This man who spends every single day talking about how Trump is horrible, people who voted for Trump are horrible people, is now going to be creating a movie that's all about, a universe that's all about masculinity and sacrifice and your friends and traditional roles.
Well, and even farther than that, Peter Jackson adapted the book into a movie. He's like, I don't have an agenda. I want to just tell the themes in the story and the, like, what would you say, the principles or morals of Tolkien that he had in the book. And he did. We got friendship, we got masculinity, we got leadership, we got loyalty, there's actually evil in the world and we have to do something about it and stand up. And I don't imagine any of that coming out with someone like Stephen Colbert.
No.
And just wacky time we live in, that every property that you love or anything that's sacred is just being ripped and destroyed and pissed on.
Yeah, it's really sad. I wasn't excited about the movie to begin with because I feel like Lord of the Rings actually tied the bow off really, really well. Like, the movie ends and you're like, okay, that's it. And everything they've created since then, like Rings of Power or the Rise of the Rohirrim cartoon movie, like, all that stuff has been lame. And so I'm not really looking forward to this other thing.
No,
I'll wait to see what people say about it, and I think eventually I will probably watch it just because I have to. But the fact that he is a part of it, man, it's just such a bummer.
Yeah, R.I.P. Lord of the Rings. Let's just keep what we have and pretend nothing else exists.
Yep.
Kind of same with Star Wars.
Yep.
And yeah,
low key, same with Halo, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, skeptical this year, but also excited. It's going to be a good year for movies, I hope. So far, it's been interesting. I think the Hail Mary has been a good start.
Even that, it's a movie starring a white male, and pretty much only him. The woman character has a smaller role.
Yeah,
and while she is kind of bossy, probably even more masculine than he is.
I mean, I was gonna say, to be fair, he's the kind of white man that Hollywood's okay with.
Right. Exactly.
Which is the shrimpy, pansy, I'll do whatever you say, except if it has anything to do with sacrificing my life, then you have to tase me.
Right, exactly.
And then for me to go, it's like, okay, so are you really like a courageous man? Not really.
Right. Yeah, that's a fair point. Well, let's get into tonight's movie, shall we, with our initial thoughts on The Matrix. I gotta say, I hadn't seen this movie since I was a young lad, and you know what? I liked it.
Really?
Yeah. I enjoyed myself. I thought it held up very well as far as any kind of CGI digital creation. Looked good. The film itself, I thought overall just looked good. The lighting, camera work, visuals. Yeah, we're going to dive into the story and like what worked for us and didn't work for us, but I gotta say, overall, especially the subject matter and kind of premise, very interesting. Like, again, like I mentioned to start off, timely for this 2026 era we live in with AI, and yeah, we'll dive more into that as we get into spoilers. But I'll kick it to you. What do you think?
I think maybe I was a little confused at what was going on. Like, what does him being the one actually mean? I didn't really understand that. I think that the premise is very interesting, especially like the scene where he actually wakes up. That was such a good scene.
Yeah, let's dive into that one. Spoilers, yeah. But yeah.
I think it was okay, but I feel like at the end of it, I was feeling like maybe I'd missed a few things. And yeah, so maybe I can agree with you after I understand them.
Okay. Well, unless you have any other thoughts, then I think we're just going to move into spoilers. So I'm sure everyone listening has probably already seen The Matrix, but we're about to spoil it like a rotten tomato and get into the nitty gritty.
So I understand the whole concept, the agent realizes that he's a hacker and that he's kind of figuring them out. He's looking for Morpheus. He's getting really close, and so they nab him. But then it talks about how he is the one.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What does that really mean? He's the one who will bring, he's the one who's going to defeat the Matrix?
Yeah, from my understanding, what the movie actually says is there was a person who understood that they were in a computer program and could defy it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the original person, original one
Right.
that started setting humans free and waking them up to reality, which is not our world, but actually a post kind of apocalyptic, post AI, post kind of Terminator world. And then he died, and they believed that somehow he was going to kind of reincarnate and then, yeah, basically come back and be able to do that again, where he could do things no one else could do in the Matrix and defy the computer program of the Matrix and the AIs, so that, to free more people from the slavery of being born as basically a battery for the AIs.
Yeah.
That's my understanding of it, but I would like to dive in deeper and kind of understand more, because I think there's more to it than I'm even grasping.
Because he gets into there, and he's clearly like super quick to learn how to do all of it, and then at like the very end, he's flying off the screen. So it's like, wow, okay, so he really is. But it was weird because the Oracle was like, "You're not the chosen one." Is there a reason why he's determined to be the one? Does it really explain that? Does he have midichlorians or something?
Don't you dare!
Son of a gun.
Don't you dare!
Don't even start.
I don't even know. I don't know how they determine he's the one or why they think he's the one.
Yeah, and then like it kind of leads you to believe that he's not, because the Oracle says that. But
right,
then
but then like, Morpheus is like, well, that's what she needed to tell you.
Yeah.
And then, but the Oracle also said even Morpheus won't believe you when you say you're not the one. So it's like, you don't even know what to believe.
I don't know. That part was weird.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Okay, whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some of the stuff you said, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the first 30 minutes of this movie is like some of the coolest movie ever. Like, I think the weird bug scene where he shuts his mouth.
Yeah.
He puts the bug in his stomach is like so freaky. And then he wakes up from a
Agents.
dream and you're like, was that even real? What in the world? And then like they take the bug out and it shoots out and it's bloody and gross. And you're just like, oh, this is so cool. Yeah. And then when he finally meets Morpheus, the classic blue and red pill, like that is still mentioned today.
Well, that's where it comes from.
Like someone will say like, I was so red pilled, like you're not red pilled yet. And it's like, you haven't seen the truth. Like people still use that phrase like, oh, you're just taking the blue pill. You just want to be safe. Yep. And it's a very, very cool scene. And then when he does like finally wake up and he's in the tube, dude, I think that's like one of the coolest scenes ever.
It's just wild, right? Because it's just like, especially if, obviously I'd seen the movie before, but I didn't remember everything and I didn't understand it as like a kid. But yeah, to like wake up and realize, whoa, like I'm just being harvested and like this is reality and it's crazy. Yeah, very cool.
Very freaking cool. And he's got like all the like the tubes inside of him. And then he gets flushed down and they have to like remove all of his gross stuff. And it's like, dang, this is crazy. This is so crazy. And then like I think the world they set up is fascinating too, like with what you're saying, like the dangers of AI and like letting AI just like become our master instead of we using it as a tool. I think it was a pretty cool idea.
Right. And even at a time, right, when AI wasn't as even common or used. I mean, I don't know when we started using artificial intelligence as a race, but I mean, like in 1999, which the movie probably was made in 97, 98, that seems a little like prophetic and little like looking forward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess they weren't the first ones. I mean, Terminator kind of does the same thing, right? We built machines, we built computers, and then they turned against us. And I don't know who the first storyteller was that kind of incorporated that, but
all these videos of these like Chinese robots who can like do backflips and like jump around stuff is freaking me out.
Have you seen the one where someone go crazy and like just start going wacky and like hitting stuff and like
I'm all for like having AI to like I use it to do my homework all the time and it's extremely helpful. But I do not want robots like waking me up in the morning and being in my house with my kids.
Well, me, yeah.
I don't want a little robot walking around waking up little Timmy.
Well, especially when you think now, like, well, they can already hear everything on my phone and my even my Ring doorbell because they advertise that at the Super Bowl, where it's like, yeah, if you lose your dog, don't worry, we can find any dog using your Ring doorbell and all your neighbors' Ring doorbells. So fear not. But it's like, oh, what else can you find on those doorbells?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you find me? So yeah, it's like, yeah, I bought this whatever brand Panasonic droid butler, and then the Chinese government hacks it, or my government hacks it, and it freaking murders me in my sleep.
Or it records your conversations and like uses them against you.
Right. Just like, in UK, they can't use social media to say anything, or else you get thrown in prison. It's like, well, when you have a butler robot that can kill you or arrest you or report you, it's even better.
Yep, exactly. And it's like, if you have that many robots, I mean, I don't know how far-fetched it all is, because maybe, these movies are intentionally catastrophic, but like, it definitely is something that we need to think about.
Definitely, yeah.
But
because the bottom line is, as a human race, and as we see right now and in the past, is there's people that want, this is coming back to J.R.R. Tolkien, right? There's evil in the world, and they will use things and people to hurt other people or take what they want or be in control or be in power.
Right.
And they don't care if it costs other people's freedom, other people's lives, other people having food, anything. It doesn't matter. What matters to them is control, power.
Yeah, and it's not like the Chinese government isn't a living example of that exact thing.
Yeah, or people here at home even, right? Like, how many people are in positions of authority in our country that do and say, like, they'll just turn around and just lie. They'll just straight lie and be like, oh, yeah, I never met Epstein, or oh yeah, this never happened, or this, and like, oh yeah, I've always supported this thing. And it's like, wow, you like are perfectly comfortable, even though we have you on recording, saying the exact opposite. You're willing to lie and not even flinch when you're doing it.
It's true.
Or you're willing to put something in a vaccine that'll hurt or kill people because you can make billions of dollars. Okay, well, we should trust those people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there is evil in the world. And I think this movie does a really good job of showing that, like, I thought it was really fascinating when he's interrogating Morpheus, when Agent Smith is interrogating Morpheus, and he says, we tried to make it like the perfect utopia, but you guys didn't believe that it was real.
Right. The human mind rejected it.
Yeah, so we had to create it like a difficult circumstance for you guys to actually buy into it, which I thought was a really fascinating thing, kind of like religiously, like how trials actually do exist for us for a reason, because they help us grow. And if we're just in a constant state of decay and social, indifference, then we don't grow and nothing changes for us, and we won't actually think that it's real, which I think is really kind of an interesting topic to talk about. Like, if things aren't hard, you don't learn, and if you're not learning, you're not growing, and if you're not growing, you become depressed and you hate your life.
Yeah, and I think, like, what I thought of when you were talking about that is, in our world right now, it feels like there's just so much entertainment and distraction that's kind of our matrix in a way.
Yeah.
Where like flood people with like it's whole companies' goals with like smartphones and social media platforms, or any kind of software you use on your phone, is how can I get you to use my device or my program for as much time as possible.
Right.
That's their goal. Because the more time you spend on there, the more I can influence you, and the more I can sell to you, and the more I can make money off you, or just shape how you think and feel. And like, yeah, so everyone's fighting for our time, like our attention. And so it's like, you could just live in a world where you're distracted and entertained and, how would you say, propagandized, and like, you wouldn't even, like, you could wake up and you're 80 and just not even realize, like, wow, I spent my whole life and like didn't really do anything besides just show up to the office and then just be entertained and do nothing. Right. Or be distracted,
accomplish nothing,
and worried about other things, and then realize, like, what did I do for the human race, or what did I do for myself, or what did I do for God, or what did I do for like beyond this life, like eternity, when this is over.
I was going to say the same thing. Like, what have I done for God or my family or other people? If I've just, like, I do think the Matrix today isn't necessarily like these evil AI robots that are trying to suck us dry of our bodies to turn into batteries, but it is people who want our attention, and that is the Matrix, really. Like when you realize that like everything wants your attention and that it's your choice where your attention goes, that's the red pill. Like I get to pick what I actually am influenced by instead of just being influenced by whatever comes my way. Because there are actors, like you said, who want your attention, and everybody does. Like you even watch like an ad for like a soda, and it's like, you really want me to go and spend money on this specific thing. Like you want me to buy a Sprite right now.
Well, yeah, and they vote with their money by spending the money to make the ad to show you and put it on platforms for you to see it that they really want to.
Yeah.
Like, they're willing to invest money for the return that they can have your money back.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. It's interesting. I didn't expect to like jump in and dive into as much relating this to our life right now, but it is wild because I was thinking about it last night or the night before, just like, I kind of had a normal day, did some work, did some video games, did some chatting with a friend, but it was just like after that kind of day was over and I was getting ready for bed, I was just like I didn't really live today. I feel like I didn't really like there's so much of importance as far as things that are moral or right or true that like I didn't really do anything to like affect those. And like, how can I do more of that? How can I live in a way that has meaning?
Yeah.
Because it's easy just to live entertained.
It is. I remember hearing this quote, like I was teaching in church. This was a couple of years ago. And I was talking about like martyrs from the scriptures and like, would you be willing to die for Jesus? Would you be willing to die to defend like what you know is true? And people were like, oh, that'd be tough. But then this girl, Rebecca, raised her hand. And I remember this so well. She's like, I think a better question is, would you live for Jesus?
Yeah.
Would you live every day as if you believed what you said? And I was like, dang, that's actually a better question.
Yeah.
Because in one moment you can choose, yeah, I'll die for this. But like over 80 years, have you lived up to what you actually want to do? That's a whole different question.
Yeah.
And that's stuck with me.
No, it is, because it's like a battle each day that you gotta choose and like look to God or look to something else. It's a choice every minute, every day.
Yeah.
And like the people that are able to do it, I think it's because they find a power and a meaning in like they're getting something back from it, right? You can't choose something like that day in and day out unless there's some sort of return.
Yeah.
And the return is peace, forgiveness, joy, strength to do things that you couldn't otherwise do. Yeah. And connection with God, and ideally as you're doing that, connection with other people, because you should be helping and serving other people. And that's what I thought about too a lot, is like connection. Like I think that's something I know we all need, and it's very needed, but we're very disconnected, and like I want to have better connections in my life with friends, with family, and with neighbors.
It's because of the Matrix though, dude.
Right.
Like the Matrix being your attention.
Yep.
Like all these screens and entertainment in front of us right now are taking our time from being genuinely connected. I think this is I remember seeing this stat that this is the loneliest generation in the world.
Yeah.
And we're the generation that has the most opportunities for connection. Like we can connect with more people than ever before, and we're the most lonely.
I heard this interesting kind of little spiel. This woman was talking about how you have to be in this world, you have to be the like initiator. Like she's like, yeah, it sucks, it's stupid, I don't know why it is this way, but like if you want to have connection, you have to be the one where you reach out to people.
That's true.
And it's like, and she's like, well, people say like, well, I do, and no one ever reaches out back. She's like, yeah, it sucks, but you just have to keep doing it. You just say like, hey, let's meet up. Hey, let's find a time we can get together. Hey, do you want to come to this? Like you just have to.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, everyone will just be content with
everyone's in the Matrix, dude.
Everyone will just get on their phone.
They're in the Matrix.
Or on their computer, or on their Xbox.
Cell phones, technology is the Matrix. I'm convinced.
We were just talking, the more we talk about this, I'm convinced. I mean, we were just talking about downstairs, right? 90s, and I was like, it was the perfect time because there was enough technology to have a little fun, like a Super Nintendo, later an N64, and you could play with your friends sitting next to you.
Mm-hmm.
But most of our time we were outside skateboarding, building jumps, building forts, shooting pellet guns.
Pranking your sister.
Yeah.
Doorbell ditching, airsoft
running
wars.
around in the neighborhood.
Jumping on the tramp.
Mm-hmm. And like you could enjoy a little bit of both. But now it's just like you look around and every kid has a smartphone. Every kid has a tablet. And it's like I cannot stand going out to a restaurant and seeing a kid sitting there on a phone. Like a 5-year-old kid or a 10-year-old kid.
So I work at Zag, right? So I'm around phones all day. All I do is swap phone cases and phone screen protectors. That's all I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I have like parents coming in and they're with their kid. And while I'm like repairing the phone, the kid will turn to the mom and say, "Where's your phone?" And mom will say, "Well, he has it." And then he starts to like freak out because he's sitting down in a place where there's not attention grabbing things in front of him. And he doesn't know what to do.
Right.
He instantly wants the phone.
Right.
And parents keep letting it happen. Like the parents are introducing the Matrix to the kid.
Right.
Over and over and over. Like this really fun device.
The Matrix is introducing to the parents.
Yeah. And it's just like that is something I really struggle with actually at work is like I get to see, I think, the worst of the worst too, because these are people who really care about their phones, who are getting cases and screen protectors.
Yeah.
And so like I see a lot of kids who have phones or a lot of like 5 or 6-year-olds who have iPads. And it's like, man, I just don't see how this is going to end well.
Dude, I just want to move out to like a ranch or like a little farmstead or something and just get out of this. I just hate it. Like even me, like I fall victim to it. Like I sometimes will pull out my phone and just like watch videos on YouTube or
it's just so easy
on Instagram and just the
Matrix is so easy, dude.
Right.
That's one of the reasons why I turned my phone onto black and white.
It does help.
Just so that my phone is more boring.
Yeah, it's less appealing. Yep.
And I've found that I am way more able to be where I am and be more engaged with what's going on.
There's people actually that are doing things what they call 90s hangouts, where the idea is like, okay, we're gonna hang out, but at this time, like 7:00 when we start hanging out, everyone puts their phones away and we don't touch them. Like we go walk somewhere and go to like a restaurant and no one brings a phone.
That's awesome.
We're just going to be us.
That's awesome.
And we need more of that.
So one thing I will say that I disliked about the movie is I thought that it was like pretty cheesy. Like I think the scene where they like walk into the building and he has like all the guns strapped to his chest. I was like, yo, that's kind of sick. But then like a whole SWAT team comes to try to kill these two people and they're destroying the columns in this building. Like just blasting them. Yeah. And not a single bullet like touches either one of them. They're just completely like invincible. And then the agents had worse aim than stormtroopers. So stuff like that, like where like the enemies are super incompetent and like you can just go anywhere without, because he didn't have like the ability yet to like, neither did she, to like dodge all the bullets, but they totally do. And it's like, they're literally invincible.
Yeah.
And I hate that crap.
I think part of it's supposed to be like, that they are like, because they're so well trained that they can be better than everyone else. Because everyone else is just like a normal human.
Sure.
So like the idea is like, if you just got programmed with all the training of a Marine and all the training of this and that and everything, you would be the best. And like, I think the idea is they are supposed to be moving at like superhuman speed. Because like when she'll jump in the air and do like the floating kick, that's not like goofy as far as like, oh, she's just floating there. It's like she's so fast and it's just so like defying gravity that she can just do it.
Okay.
But but I do get what you're saying.
Yeah.
To give you your due, like it does seem like I feel like they need to emphasize that more than like when Neo and her Trinity spread out to start dodging bullets, like maybe they should move like blurred. So like emphasize, like they moved really fast and they got to cover. Or make
everyone else slow motion, but make them like regular speed. Because everything was in slow motion. It was kind of just like, how can your nice guy hit him? He's literally walking in a straight line
shooting
with pistols. And you have so he's going akimbo, right? So he has way less accuracy. You have an M16 and you're butted up against your shoulder. You have way better accuracy.
Sure. Yeah. But I totally get what you're saying. Yeah. I think there's both sides. I think they need to maybe tighten that up, and then we're supposed to believe like they're superior. But I definitely agree that it could be tightened up. With the opening scene, yeah, I know we've kind of already jumped way past that, but what did you think of the opening scene? I thought it was a great way to start a movie.
I agree.
Like we get the intro of the voice call, and then this action scene with Trinity, and it's like, whoa, this is pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I tend to have an issue when like the main characters of something are just so above like everybody else.
Sure.
Like it's one of the things that I hate about the third movie for Lord of the Rings is when Aragorn shows up with like all of the ghosts.
Yeah. They're just invincible.
They just wreck everything. It's like that's kind of a lame ending.
It undercuts the stakes when it's like, oh, we don't have to do this by our own grit and like strategy or competence.
Which is why I liked watching the Neo Agent Smith fight, because I felt like they were both super like equal, and like I kept thinking that Neo was gonna die and then Agent Smith was gonna die, and then he gets hit by the train, and then it's just like, nope, he's back, and it's like, geez, this guy is so strong. This is sick.
Right.
And then he finally shoots Neo, and it's like, shoots him once, and I'm like, okay, maybe he's alive. And then he goes, boom, 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 and he shoots him like 8 times, and it's like,
yeah,
okay, he's dead. Yeah. I thought that was great. I hated how it ended, though, with the freaking love reviving him. That was so stupid. True love. That's so lame.
That's echoes of Interstellar.
That's the part of Interstellar I don't like.
Well, I think that's actually a cool part of Interstellar. We won't get into that. We've already talked about it. Sure. But like, I think that's important, right? Because it's like, do you believe in something that defies kind of our sense of science, right? And one of those things could be love, which theologically speaking, again, that's kind of an homage, right? Because theologically speaking, love is something that transcends the laws of justice. Christ died for us, so that means I don't have to pay justice? Like, how does that work? What does that mean? Anyway, we don't have to dive into all that.
I guess that's fair. I just thought it was kind of lame. I was like, what a lame
I think I get what you're saying. So back to Neo and Trinity with her, like, I wish there was a little more, like, context with that, with, like, because they say, like, oh, like, if you die in the Matrix, do you die in real life? And he's like, yeah, like, your mind can't survive without the body, or your body can't survive without the mind. So, like, if your mind in the Matrix gets destroyed, which I don't really get it, because your mind somehow is getting into the computer program, and so if they kill that part of your mind in the computer program, then you die. Like, I wish you would have kind of explained it more to be like, oh, well, like, Neo has come to understand, like, if their spoon doesn't exist, then the bullets in me don't exist. And if the bullets don't exist in me, then, like, I can tell my brain, like, no, it's a workaround. Like, those bullets don't affect you. They have no place in you.
Yeah.
So, like, how can you destroy something that's not... If you're not using something real, how can you destroy me? You can't. So, like, I think there needed to be some sort of more context with that, because that's what I like to understand, like, could be the possibility of the answer.
And I think that's where kind of the movie starts to lose me, is when it starts to get into that territory, where it's like, what you believe is what exists. That's pretty hard. I'm like, okay, well, how come he believed it in this moment and then not here? But then can he retroactively believe because he's already dead?
Right, when she kisses him.
Yeah, and it's like, well, he believed that he could slow the bullets down when he was doing, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to, like...
It's not perfect.
Love. I'm just like, I feel like it kind of is a little cumbersome, but I think the movie overall is good. We didn't talk about Cypher's betrayal.
Yeah, we got to get into that, because I want to ask you some questions. Dude, some moral questions.
Cypher.
Ethical questions.
Judas
in the flesh. Speaking of, there's a lot of homages to Christianity that we probably should touch on too. But let's get into Cypher. I'm going to pose the question. Cypher kind of has a point here, right? Like, kind of the real world kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And if I could just go back to sleep and enjoy a steak and be wealthy in this fake world and have a hot babe.
Be an actor.
And be an actor. Which is kind of a funny joke. Would you, Dan? Would you stay in the real world and fight and have some sort of meaning in real life? Or would it just be easier to
Absolutely,
sleep?
Dude.
Would it just be... Well, you say that, but, like, I want you to take a second to think. Or would you rather, like, man, this kind of sucks. I've been doing this for 8 years. Would I just Go back to sleep.
Dude. It's the cause, bro.
It's
You
the
literally saw
cause.
these disgusting little AI demon squid things flying around trying to kill you. You've seen babies
being harvested.
How could you possibly go back? Like, yeah, the food's gross, but like the cause, dude.
Yeah. The moral and ethical situation you're in is just like a life of meaning or a life of being a slave.
Yeah, it's crazy. And plus, like, you're making a deal with somebody that wants to harvest you. Like,
there's no way that they're going to put them back in. It's like as soon as they get what they want, they could just kill them.
Yeah, exactly. They don't need you.
Or harvest them.
Like, they're just going to put your body back into this thing and you're just going to become a battery again. Like,
they make him just a hobo.
how could you? Yeah, exactly. How could you be okay with knowing that your body is now a battery? Like, rather be free and, like, suffer than to be a slave and to, I don't know, have what you want. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean, we talked about that, right? It's not just, there's a spectrum of people out in the world. You're ignorant to think that there's not evil people in the world and there's not good people in the world. Evil exists, good exists. And Cypher is one of those people that's willing to choose himself over other people, right? His comfort, quote unquote comfort, over other people's lives and even babies' lives, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And the future of the human race.
Yep. It's crazy because he's willing to kill all of his friends for it too. It's one thing to like defect and be like, okay, I don't want to fight this anymore, but he's down to kill everybody. Like he tries to kill Tank. Tank's a freaking gangster, so he stays alive.
Yeah, Tank.
Let's go, Tank. Then he kills the other guy, and then he unplugs the other two people, and it's just like, yo, you are crazy, dude. Like, you just murdered 3 of your friends.
In addition to that, he was like savoring the opportunity to see Morpheus be tortured and have him find out that it was him.
Yeah, just a sadistic little bastard.
Right. So it's far beyond. It is evil.
Yeah,
right?
It's pure evil, and I'm glad that Tank is the one that freaking annihilates him. It's gangster. He's so creepy too, and he's on that girl, and he's like talking to her like right to her face, and it's like,
right.
Oh, I hate this guy. He's so creepy.
Telling my mom.
I think it's funny too because he just looks like the kind of guy who
perfect casting.
Yeah, like they gave him a mustache and like a pointy goatee, and they made him bald. It's like, yeah,
and his voice and just everything. It's just perfect.
Yeah,
he's obviously Judas.
You never got me any dinner. Shut up, Cypher. You're a nerd. Look at your face.
Maybe if you were handsome and cool like Neo, you would.
Yeah, maybe if you were the one.
Dang.
I think this movie is good, and I like the ideas that it presents. I don't love how it presents them. It just feels like clunky and a little outdated for me. I think the ideas though are really cool. And honestly, like if I trusted our film industry, I would like to see a remake of this. I don't trust them though, so I say don't touch it, but I'm sure that
they did like a movie a couple of years ago. A Matrix movie.
I don't think it was a remake though.
I don't think so either. But
yeah. But I think that I'd give this probably a 7.
Oh, jumping into scores.
I think that's probably where I find myself falling. I think I enjoyed Hail Mary better, to be honest.
Okay. We're going to get to the story questions, but I'll go ahead and give my score. You know what? I'll save it. Whose story is it? What do they want? What do they need? And does the movie make us care?
What do you think?
I think it's Neo's story.
Yep.
I think he wants to understand what the Matrix is, if it exists, what it is. And what he ultimately needs to understand is the Matrix is a false world. And like he says in the beginning of the movie where he's like, do you believe in destiny? He says, or fate. He says, no. And he's like, why? He's like, because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my future, of my choices. And that kind of ties in, I think, to what he ultimately needs, which is, you're in control. These computer programs can tell you that this world exists, that you're nothing, that you're a nobody, which he says at the beginning when he's climbing out the window, I'm nobody. Why is this happening to me? ultimately he needs to realize, like, no, like, even these bullets are shooting at me, they can't tell me what's real. I decide my future. I decide what's reality as far as being in a computer program, because none of this is real. So the reality is out there in the ship with my friends and the human race that's suffering, and I got to live for that, right? There's something to live and fight for. That's my take at it. I don't know if that's what the story's actually saying things, but that's what comes to mind.
I agree. That's what he has to end up learning how to do, is to believe in what he wants to believe, and then to literally disregard everything else that's presented to him in the Matrix.
I like that. Good summary. Yeah, and does the movie make me care? For the most part, I think so. Yeah. How about you?
I don't know what it is about this movie that just kind of loses me, but I enjoyed it for the most part, but I don't think that I'd love to watch it again. So maybe not.
As a kid, I feel like, yeah, I understood this movie being like, wow, this is like cutting edge. This is like cool. And it's got this like different tone and style to it. But I was like, it never felt like it was for me. I feel like I appreciate it more now, looking back. I enjoyed it.
Maybe I'm just a kid still.
I would give this a 7.5. I was leaning maybe towards an 8, but
same as Hail Mary.
Is that what I gave it?
You gave it a 7.5.
Yeah, I think there's things that are better in this movie. This is a more me movie. Like the whole idea that the human race, like in reality, not outside the Matrix, but in reality, is like fighting for survival, and we're being controlled, and like everyone's being harvested, and we got to stand up and do something about it. That's like badass. Like,
I agree.
That's like, yes, let's go.
Yep.
So that part of it, which I always thought was the weirdest part, the reality world when I was a kid seeing this movie, is like super appealing.
That was my favorite scenes were definitely when like you're learning about how everything is fake.
Yeah.
Like it's like, wow, that is so crazy.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part too.
Yeah, like when we talked about, when he wakes up, when you find out, wow, they have whole fields where they're just harvesting. We're not procreating. They're just like somehow procreating for us in fields to create babies that never actually are born. They're just incubated, and they just grow them and use their power for energy. It's just like, holy crap, we got to stop this. We got to stand up.
Wow. That is so crazy.
Yeah, so
very creative idea.
Yeah. That's where I'm going to fall on it. I think as far as Legend or Letdown, I have to go Legend on this movie. Just the themes, the idea, the premise, the music, the style. It still holds up, I thought, visually well. Its influence, like we talked about, red pill, blue pill. We get some kung fu. We get some AI taking over the world. Like, it's a legendary movie. You may not be everyone's favorite cup of tea, but it's definitely a legend, I think.
I think it's a little bit of a letdown.
Get out of my room.
I think the premise and the idea is very cool, but I feel like the movie itself is a little goofy, and it's hard for me to say that it's like a legend. But I do think the concept of it is cool, and I think that anybody should really evaluate themselves to ask themselves if they are in the Matrix and like what the Matrix is for them.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fascinating concept.
Are you living in the Matrix, or are you living in the real world?
Yeah.
Where things are hard and you need to stand up and do something for yourself and your brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm. And like you have a real purpose. It's not just to like scoot by like Cypher. Like you need to actually accomplish things.
Amen.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, we didn't get into really the theological undertones of this movie with the One, Neo, Morpheus, Trinity, all these little things, but it's okay. There's other videos and other people that have talked about it, and you and I can talk about it off the air. So fans, if you want to hear any more about this movie, just let us know. Maybe we'll talk about those things, because we dived into a lot of the morality of our life, how it tied in and was reflected in this movie, but we're not want to go over long. So until then, if you haven't checked us out on Real Legends Movie Podcast on YouTube, please do subscribe. Really helps grow the show if you interact with us there, comment, share, subscribe. That's the only way people know about us, is if other people help grow the show. Also Instagram at real.legends.pod. And until next time, we'll see you at the cinema concession stand.
Catch you on the flippity flap.